Okay, did you feel the energy that just sort of plummeted into the atmosphere a few minutes ago, like a half hour ago about? Just ripped through the energy system and then ripped right back out. So came through a wormhole, it looks like. And just sort of was like, let's just play some games today. I don't know. All right, so welcome to the Cosmic Energy Forecast this week of February 4th through the 10th. Today, Tuesday, February 4th, is the theme for the day is to move out that old energy. Maybe that's what that little rip through the energy system was about, was to sort of disrupt the energies to bring things to light. So otherwise, if you're not actually doing what you need to do today to move through those old energies, it's going to create chaos, as was seen about a half hour ago. So the energies are sort of continuing with a similar pattern, I want to say, from last week. It's really all about creating those new routines that will better serve you in your future today and in the future, rather than carrying those old patterns forward. Like, you will find yourself a bit curious today. That is so that you can move through those old stagnant kind of patterns. So be very intentional about those old patterns. Like, let yourself be very intentional about moving those out today. And as we just witnessed half hour ago with that little thing that that ran through the energy system, it's there. Those things will probably continue to happen if we're not like literally moving through. So here's how it works. When you are stuck in old patterns, you stagnate your energy and your intuition becomes blocked. It's not really your energy that becomes blocked, it's your intuition that becomes blocked. This is where it gets really frustrating, because even if you know that something's available, for example, bilocating, like, maybe people who are just like real masters at bilocating. Like, I can bilocate, show up at somebody's house. I can't physically show up at somebody's house yet because I don't have the teleportation code fully activated, but I can energetically show up at somebody else's house. And you know that there are masters out there that are doing that, but yet you just can't quite figure it out, right? So it's because your energy is blocked by those old belief systems, those old patterns, those old thinkings, those old thought forms, the emotions. Like, if you're not dealing with your emotions, that blocks your energy, your intuitive energy, quicker than anything else I know. So this year, your intuition is the thing to follow, right? Like, your intuition is coming on board for all of humanity. And, so if you're blocking those brilliant ideas, those brilliant, masterful insights, those concepts and things that are way beyond you, and you're sort of blocking that those things they only come through your intuition. Your intuition is the only one that can deliver those aha moments and those like brilliant ideas and concepts. If you're blocking those this year, we maybe need to talk. You can schedule your appointment on my website at angelaplaha.com, because otherwise you're going to be in pain and suffering, honestly. I mean, we don't have choices anymore. Well, we have choices. We always have choices. Energetically, the energy is pushing us, moving us into ascension no matter what. So, one way that you can use to move out of that old stuff is to increase your chi, right? Your energy. Increase it. Do some deep breathing exercises. It's a great way to increase chi. Move, because what happens is the oxygen, the breath, moves through the body and moves those blocks out of you. So today, set your intention that your breath, every time you breathe, even if you're not doing an exercise of deep breathing, set the intention that every time you breathe in and you breathe out, that it will transform the old energy. You don't even have to work at this stuff. We don't have to do anything special. We don't have to take hours of meditation or anything like that. just setting the intention that the breath actually moves that old energy. Let me know how this works. Like, seriously. Today is also the year of the rat. So this is the Chinese New Year that starts the lunar calendar for the Chinese New Year. So did you know that the Chinese New Year is dependent upon the first new moon of the year? It is. But the Feng Shui New Year, it never changes. It's always February 4th. So there's a huge opportunity for newness for an entire month, longer, a month and a half, depending on which calendar that you play with, right? So if you follow Feng Shui, you know that changing all of those sectors needed to be done before today. Yep. The reason I bring this up is that Feng Shui, the Feng Shui New Year actually, is completely aligned with the energies of movement, right? Like we've had a month and a half of opportunity to move out old energy with a lot of grace and ease. So also the year of the rat is all about abundance, prosperity, and wealth. If you're not focusing on that, again, we may need to chat. Moving on to Wednesday, February 5th. Today's energy is the duality of practicality versus fun. So tomorrow, on Wednesday, like there's a real struggle in the energies of which one will you do. So try not to pick a side. Instead, try to find a balance, right? For example, I already have it scheduled into my calendar that I plan to spend some time doing some fun stuff, like focusing on what brings clarity into my life. In order for me to manifest, I have to be very, very clear about what I want. Everything that I desire for the month of February, I plan to take a little extra time tomorrow focusing on that. And to balance that, I have it scheduled in my planner to do my bookwork and to finish up January's income and expenses. That is a balancing. That's a balancing between the practicality of life, which is, for me, finishing up January's income and expenses, and then having fun, like digging deeper into, like what can I create in February? And of course, I prefer to have fun first and then balance it with practicality. That's what works for me. Because I was raised in the opposite kind of energy system, like I sort of like do the opposite now in order for me to like be who I want to be. And so I do the fun stuff first. For me, it's, diving into being more clear about what I really want in February. So make a plan, right? Make a plan ahead of time of how you will create this balance in your days. And the energy is super ripe for creating balance everywhere. All right, Thursday, February 6th. Energetically, it's a light day, but there is turmoil in the mix. Like I feel like there's energetically the cosmos is supporting you, but what happens when these kinds of energetics, like they feel very free, and as a human consciousness, we don't know how to operate in freedom. So when this happens, the energies can be confusing, because if you're still hanging on to those old patterns, those old thoughts, emotions, beliefs, right, they will come into play. But if you're really steadfast in your practice, this won't happen for you. Because as one part of humanity will try to create chaos, and if you let them, they will suck you right into it. But if you're really steadfast in your practice and you're really dedicated to yourself, you don't get caught up in those streams of energy that come at you and sort of try to pull you into something. Like when you're really steadfast in your practice and you know who you are, you don't get caught up in those kinds of things, because you see them for what they are. You see them for the truth of what they are. So when these light days come, and it seems like someone or something is always trying to create something like outside of you, something else than what you really want, because we have this sort of addiction to chaos as a human race, right? That's where it's really, really important to know yourself and know what pulls you in. What's the trigger? Like on free flowing kind of days, there's lots of triggers out there. What will pull you in? What are you going to say? Yeah, okay, I see that trigger and I'm not playing today. So I find it is vital, especially for my business, to stay on course in these kinds of free flowing days, because what I mean by this is that my relationships are really good, my health is good, wealth is good, but my business, because of the business that I have, seems to wobble a little bit, especially when I have on these free flowing days, if there's bright shiny objects, right? The business person in me like sort of begins to wobble, saying, oh, I wonder if that would help me, or oh, I wonder if I could grow into that, right? So be very, very careful about where you are unsteady. If you're unsteady in your business, maybe you want to pull in an aspect that would create more steadiness, more energy that keeps you focused, keeps you on task. If that helps. If not, who knows? But because I'm using this specific thing as a business, because I change so much every single day in my business, that's why it can have a wobbly kind of an effect, especially on these free flowing kind of days. So this is why it's super important to know what area of your life needs a little support. If you know that on Thursday your business may need a little support, call a friend. Like, do something that's going to keep you more focused. So on Thursday, you can bank that I will be spending extra time being super focused and super clear about my business intentions, so I don't get sucked into any of the wobble, because I know that is, I'm growing so much all the time in that area that I can feel that wobble effect. And sometimes I do get carried off onto crazy shiny object syndrome. So don't follow me. So know where in your life that could be a possibility, where that wobbly kind of effect can sort of pull you in. All right, Friday, February 7th. Can you say fire? Literally. There is a deep brewing of extreme fiery energy in the cosmos on Friday, and it will last almost a month. Mm-hmm. This fiery energy, along with the rebel kind of energy that Aquarian energy can kind of bring, it may probe you to be a game changer if you use the energy, like fire and rebelness, like that combined. Man, that could be some super strong, powerful energy, right? And you can change the world with that kind of energy. So on Friday, be super conscious about looking forward. Like, where are you experiencing high levels of passion, and allow this rebellious, fiery kind of energy to move you forward into that passion, right? Like, these kinds of energy days are just fantastic if we know how to rein it in and use the energy. So if you're feeling super passion, and you're like getting all into it, demand that this fiery, rebellious kind of energy brings you fresh, new ideas that are very bold, that you can actually make a move on, right? That it can actually catapult you in your life. Seriously, like these kinds of days like Friday are amazing. This is long, sustainable energy though. Remember, I said it's going to last about a month. So every day for the next month, bring this kind of energy into your awareness. Like, bring it into your everyday, bring it into your meditation, and ask, like, wow, where can I change life today? Make these changes that you want in your life doable. Like, let that be part of your demand, I want to say, or your requisition of the energy is what is it that I can do with very little work? Now we're looking for, right, these fiery kinds of energies, these rebellious kind of Let's get this stuff done. These are doable kinds of energies. These are things that this is kinds of energy that you can bring in if you're a doer and you love to do stuff. Like, this is the fiery energy that you look for all the time. Okay, Friday, did I say bold? Write this down and bring it into your life, because this very strong, desirable kind of energy, it will be expressed in one way or another. Honestly, that fiery, rebellious kind of energy does not let you go. It will be expressed in one way or another, so be super conscious about what you desire in your life. I've been talking all the time about thriving. Like, this whole 2020 is about thriving. We're in the midst of thriving. How can you use this fiery, rebellious energy to thrive? Right? Like, leave that old crap behind and try something new on Friday. Saturday, February 8th. It's a forecast kind of a day, honestly. So spend some time looking into your future. Like, who are you? It's a great day to work on trusting your intuition by practicing the skills that you already have, especially the skill in seeing. Like, many of you know that I'm a seer. I can see a lot of stuff. But I will be practicing and moving deeper into my skills of seeing, because I want to know it all. Like, why not? You can start out by just allowing your mind to explore possibilities. Let yourself imagine, which I've repeatedly said, and the opportunities are always there to allow yourself to imagine yourself in your life or in your business a week from now. Like, you don't have to go out 10 years from now. That's crazy. Like, what do you want to be different about you in a week? Simple. Baby steps. We're not asking for the universe here. We're asking for steps that will get us to the universe. So if you're not changing anything, right? If you're not changing anything in a week, this is one of those old patterns that you might want to look at. That is blocking your energy. If you can't see yourself in a week and identify things that you have changed or could change, I'm saying you have some blocked energy going on here. So then when you're done with that one, look into your life a month from now. Again, you're focusing on what has changed. You're asking yourself, what's different about me? If you can't see, then allow yourself to sort of dream. Like, what is it that you really want in a month? Like, if you want a new house and you can't dream about a new house, maybe that's not in alignment. Maybe that's just an ego want. If you want a vacation and you need a vacation, you desire a vacation, you can totally dream about a vacation. That's totally in alignment. What do you want to change? What do you want to change? What do you want in your life? How do you want your life to be different? That's the focus on Saturday. Then write those things down so that you know where to focus your energy on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, right? Because you'll forget. We forget. You're the creator here. Thrive by using your natural abilities, and Saturday is a prime opportunity to start seeing and then see the differences and pull them into the present moment. Sunday, February 9th. It's a full moon. Woo! So, as full moons always mark the beginning of a new cycle. Your imagination is heightened on these days where there's new cycle begins. So if you allow yourself to receive, and receive is kind of a big word when we're talking about, creating new cycles. If you're not open to receive all the benefits, all the prosperity, all the wealth, all the potentials, again, you're not trusting your intuition and you're blocking your own energy. So receiving is a thing on Sunday. Receive all the creative energy that flows in on a full moon, right? Like in the ancient traditions, the moon archetyped were the keepers of the dreams. if you dig into your dreams, we know that these are just realities or aspects of us in the multiverse. They aren't actually dreams anymore because that whole thing has changed. We are actually experiencing ourselves in the multiverse as a different being. So the moon will help you to create and harvest intentions. Like that's how the ancients used them. The ancients used it to create new things and to harvest what they had set their mind to. So be strong in your intentions setting today on Sunday. Be very strong in your intentions. I see full moon energy as the blending of the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown, the tangible and the intangibles, right? A blending of the opposites. So for me on Sunday, the day of the cycle, when duality, like it's a day of a cycle where duality doesn't really exist because it's a finish and a start. And when we have those kinds of, I want to say gaps in energy, but they're not really gaps, they're end and beginnings, right? When there's those kinds of things, duality doesn't necessarily really play a part. If we're really using the energy and we're really concentrating on like how to incorporate it into your life, like there's an end and a start there. And when there's that kind of energy pressuring each other, duality doesn't really have an opportunity to come in. So that's why new beginnings are a great thing to do there. You know, like harvesting the energy of what your intention was for from the last cycle period, right? And saying, looking back and saying, okay, what changed? What did I improve? How did it work? Right? Now you're starting and saying, okay, well, how can I take that energy and move it forward and increase it? You see, like there's no duality in there. There's just a flow of this is what worked. I'm going to bring that forward and increase it and magnetize it and make it tenfold what it was. So it's a great day to harvest what you desire and set those intentions for the next 30 days. Okay, moving on to Monday, February 10th. The energy feels a bit anxious on Monday. So if you're one of those beings who has anxiety, it will serve you well to practice your deep breathing exercises several times on Monday, like almost all day. Just kidding. So what I see is many different kinds of vibrations in the universe and in the cosmos. And depending on how well you know yourself or what you want to create on Monday or how you want your experience to be, it will be determined if your nervous system is in control or not. So what happens on these multi-vibrational kinds of days is if your nervous system controls your body and you're really unconscious about that, then you'll be like in the roller coaster effect. Like you'll be up and down, up and down, up and down. If you control your nervous system and you are the conscious one about the nervous system, you're directing it, then you should be fairly steady on that day. For those of you who have problems with the nervous system, which is really what creates anxiety, right? Is the nervous system gets a bit, it's in control of the body and it just plays with the energies. I mean, that's really what happens. That's how traumas become instilled into the body. And the traumas are the ones that the nervous system uses to sort of create chaos within the physical form. So for those of you who have that, right, like anxiety kind of energy, like do some somatic dancing, like any somatic kind of activity or experience will help calm that nervous system, because that's what somatic is the calming of the nervous system. Deep breathing, right? Like Dr. Wales has that deep breathing exercise, 3-4 something it's called, 3-4-6, 3-4-8. DNA healing, those of you who have done DNA healing with me, like that's a way to like release the energies of the nervous system. So any of these kinds of healing processes will be very important on Monday. Stay very focused on what you allow yourself to dream about on Saturday. So those things that you dreamt about on Saturday, right? Pull them into today. And be very focused on those kinds of things because it will help clarify the day. When we have these kinds of variables in the cosmic energies and they are hitting us, like bombarding us, being very, very focused and allowing those wants, dreams, and desires to be the focus sort of doesn't allow the nervous system to become out of sync with itself. So I hope that that makes sense. All right, all you beautiful, amazing beings, I hope you have just the most amazing week ever. Now that you have the energy forecast, you know exactly how the week's going to be, and you know exactly how to use the energy to your advantage. I love you dearly. This is Angela Blaha signing off from the cosmos.